we can begin by offering our obeisance to one another. It's always the best way to begin any Vaishnava gathering. So, Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jayam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Rupanuga Gurubhagi Ki Jai. Jai Vishwavrenya Vishnupad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswata Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. Samadvaita Vaishnava Mandali Ki Jai. Sri Harinama Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. So we'll wait. Hopefully it won't be very long before Maharaj joins us. But this evening's subject is enthusiasm, conviction, and perseverance, etc. Nourish your spiritual life. So this is, of course, from the third verse of Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamrita. And, excuse me. And Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he said, mainly Rupa Goswami's writings are all higher type of writing about rasa and Madhura Leela and all of these things, which are, you can say, not our general subject matter that we are studying. We don't want to trespass where we are not qualified to go. So, and Srila Sridhar Maharaj would say, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. So we should not be foolish, but we should follow the angels. And but he said, but two books he left for us, meaning the practitioners, the sadhakas, the aspiring devotees. And that one is the first part of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is known in English as the Nectar of Devotion. And the other one is Upadeshamrita, or the Nectar of Instruction. And that particularly is very relevant to us. So it is in fact, in its entirety, quite a short text. It is only here. So it's only, excuse me, 11 verses. So, but they go from the very beginning to the very, highest level in a very quick progression, but with step-by-step explanations. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj has given some very nice illuminations on these verses. In our publication, also there are the commentaries of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And all of the verses are very instructive to us. But this third verse is the one I chose tonight. And I am going to read, and I do apologize, I couldn't find this text online. So I'm reading from the book. And if anyone knows where it is online, all well and good. I couldn't find it, so maybe it's never been, in its entirety, it's not been published there. So the verse itself, we know, Utsahan Nischaya Darja Tat Karma Pravartanat Sangha Tyaga Satobrite Sadabir Bhakti Prasiddhyati. So Utsahan Nischaya Darja. So Utsahan means enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, conviction, perseverance, engaging in favorable activities, giving up bad association, and following the conduct of the Mahajans. So these 6 things nourish bhakti. These are the 6 things, the 6 qualities that will nourish our bhakti. They will help us in our progress in our bhakti and help us to continue. Because actually, the path that we are following is not to be over in a very short time. It is not just in a few weeks or a few months or even a few years, but quite possibly not even a few lifetimes, but many lifetimes. That may be the reality, although it is possible, of course, in a moment to get full Krishna consciousness. But generally, we are not finding that to be our experience. And so we should be prepared to be in it for the long run, whatever that takes. And we should be realistic in thinking that it may be many lifetimes. But at the same time, you shouldn't be discouraged by that, because we're not dealing with an impersonal absolute, but we're dealing with Krishna, the most beautiful personality of Godhead, who has nothing but loving feelings for us and good wishes for us, and always trying to help us to come to him. So we should remember that he didn't create us just to suffer birth after birth in this material world, but rather we're created to be with him in an eternal life of ever-increasing joy and bliss in his service. So all that's separating us from that is our willingness to embrace that in its entirety. So, then he's just waiting for us. In other words, he's given us free will. And when we are prepared to utilize that free will exclusively in his service, then we will get that full blissful life that he has created us for. So anyway, this verse, one of the important verses, they're all, as I said, all important verses, but this is the illumination on this verse by our Divine Master, Om Vishnupad, Srila Bhakti Rakak, Sri Dadev Goswami Maharaj. So this is from his speaking in this subject matter. Devotion increases by these 6 practices. They should be our fare, our capital for the journey. Utsaha, enthusiasm. Nischaya, pure faith. Dharja, patience. Tat karma pravartana, perseverance, to perseveringly go on doing the programs which are mentioned and required of us to do, Shravana, Kirtan, and so forth. Sangha Tyaga, leaving the opposite association, the anti-God association, and Sato Brite, trying to accept the sentiments, the feelings, the nature of thought of the higher. We shall try to associate with the sadhus, the devotees, and give up everything that is anti-devotional. We must continue this program to the infinite, and thereby we shall find him everywhere. If we withdraw from it, we will see darkness. It cannot be true. If we are following the real path, then if we stop, it will simply be horrible for us. So unconsciously, we will enter God's domain. It is the nature of the infinite. Sometimes he will seem to be very near, close by, and sometimes it will seem, I am making progress in the wrong direction. Again, at the next moment, no, I am all right. From the background, it is all his play. So many things may come, but we must always keep the association of the genuine devotees. This is the most important factor. In the absence of that, we must keep the association of the scripture, the words and thoughts of the devotees. That is our solace, our consolation, our capital, our everything, the holy books and the holy persons. We must think that we are infinitesimal on the way to have the infinite. A real sadhu is a concrete thing to us. Everything is almost abstract, but a sadhu is a concrete thing. In their heart, we shall find existing feelings surcharged with God consciousness, and that is something tangible. We can converse with each other. That will seem to be something tangible. Otherwise, almost everything is abstract. We must pray to the Lord so that we may have the real help of a real sadhu. Kabe Sri Chaitanya More Karibena Daya Kabe Ame Paiba Vaishnava Padachaya. When will such grace be granted from on high that I shall get the company of a real sadhu, a real friend on my way to the goal? That is a great thing, very great capital to have a partner on the way, the long way towards divinity. To have the company of a friend of equal interest is a great achievement. Sometimes we may also look to the negative side. If I leave this campaign, then what am I to be? Then with what am I to be satisfied? This mortal world? Should I aspire after that? No, never. So whether I get him or not, I have no other alternative but to go forward to the Lord of my conception. I cannot go back. I cannot be satisfied with the elements of the mortal world. I must seek truth, eternity, and happiness. Virtue is its own reward. We should not be virtuous for the sake of something else. That I am on the real path, searching for the truth, is its own reward. With this capital, we must go forward. We are searching after truth, eliminating falsehood, dismissing all scent of falsehood. We are going forward, and that is the reward. Such virtue is its own reward. So according to our sincere consciousness, we will choose our company. What more can we do than this? A sincere seeker after truth can only find and select association according to their own conscience. We have no other alternative. Otherwise, we must be cheaters of ourselves. True to our conscience, we shall select our association. Who will be able to help us on this long journey? Only the search after truth must be our first consideration, not any other thing. That we will get some name, fame, money, or power, these things must not come into consideration when we are searching for a real companion. Only the truth, and not any outside capital or temptation. Anya bilash, karma, gyan, neither power, nor rest, nor any fleeting desire or trifling thing, neither trifling acquisition, nor organized acquisition, nor idleness, nor salvation, entering into and being reduced to zero. None of these things should dissuade us. So that's quite short, but Srila Sridhar Maharaj speaking about this verse, which I chose as our subject tonight. I'm not sure Maharaj is with us yet, back from the house where they were. He said it was 10 minutes away. That was 20 minutes ago, but so we're hoping that he'll join with us shortly. Oh, I see him. I see the flags of the temple behind him, so I think he must have arrived.
You do, and you see Sri Guru Gauranga Sunda, and Giriraj Shri Radha Giridhari Ju.
Aye.
But Prabhu, I'll just be literally 1 minute and 53 seconds, and then I'll have the computer here and I'll be seated peacefully and I'll be with you. I've heard everything you've said and very happily, and it's all so relevant, and it's just exactly what we need. We want to hear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Don't they say that in the... So help us God. Okay, there we are. So Prabhu, please, please continue talking to me as well as the other devotees for a few minutes. I'm just hearing you. 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. Govinda, yes. Govinda.
I'm just looking at all the devotees here that have gathered together. Most of them look like Cluedo pictures, but those, some of them have photos and some of them actually have moving people behind those photos. Oh, I see Pandita Didi's there. I see Nirupama Didi's there. Praneshwari Didi. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu is there. And Suresh Krishna Prabhu. And so many. Chaitanya Moyi, Krishna Mohini Didi. So I wonder if anyone has some comment they want to make about that, or perhaps from that some question arose that they would like me to try and answer, or indeed Maharaj to answer. But at the moment you've got me, so I can try. If you have any questions regarding that or anything else, I can try and answer that. Or if someone has an inspiration to speak something about the subject matter tonight. Anyone coming forward for that? No. That's good. That means everybody fully understands what Guru Maharaj was speaking about, and have fully embraced that within their heart. We're very happy to see that, and we're hoping that that's true, that you will all be able to bless me, that I can embrace that in my heart in a real way also. So. Pandita Didi, why don't you tell us something about these 6 qualities that maybe you've had some experience in your life?
Well, I thought the one thing that comes to mind when you were reading so beautifully, Prabhu, was also just the acknowledgement that sometimes it isn't easy. It's not always easy, and sometimes we find ourselves in a situation where we're having to face challenges in our spiritual life. And what's so beautiful, what Srila Guru Maharaj is saying, just the perseverance within those times to keep going and to continue to embrace our ideal. There's this, it's so encouraging to hear that. Like I am reminded of this one verse from, I forget which song it is, but it goes something along the lines of, whatever happiness or distress is coming on my way, within my service, I happily embrace it because it is purifying to me. Both happiness and distress, that whole process of that internal adjustment to whatever we're faced in our Krishna conscious life, it's like a very important aspect of the practice. And what I thought was so beautiful is that Srila Guru Maharaj is acknowledging that. He's in a way seeing that I'm struggling sometimes, and it's encouraging for that to be acknowledged. So that's sort of only the little reflection that comes to mind.
Yeah, that's very nice. Actually, it's one of the qualities that we found so attractive in Srila Guru Maharaj was that although he could speak about the highest things, he could also see things from the most human point of view. You know, like although he himself, no doubt, was the greatest master of bhakti yoga or of Krishna consciousness, he himself had so much practical experience in Krishna consciousness that not only would he acknowledge that, you know, it's not easy, sometimes it's very difficult, but he recognized that as like part of the process itself, and you know, not something that we should feel shame about, or you know, that, but actually it's necessary for us. That struggle sometimes is necessary for us because it helps our own conviction to become more forged, to become more real in ourselves. As you know, if you gain something after a great struggle, then very often you'll value that much more than if it's just handed to you on a plate. And he did give the example that he's saying, just like the mother, you know, when she's giving birth to the child, an unimaginable, painful experience, but that pain that she goes through, the product of that is the object of her love and joy. So similarly, you know, when in our attempt to practice Krishna consciousness, we may go through many things. In the Christian tradition, they call it the dark night of the soul. Sometimes it becomes, you know, like so intense. But when you come through that, the other side, the prospect of that is that we gain something immeasurably wonderful. And, you know, the result of our suffering, you can say, the object of our love and joy. So not that we should start wearing hair shirts and whipping ourselves on the back or something like that because we need to suffer for religion, as some people used to think. But you know, that kind of suffering necessarily will come anyway. You know, we don't need to invite it; it's coming anyway. You know, that struggle may also be very much an internal struggle of our own conscience, of our own conviction, of all of these things that we need to go through that. That's why, you know, otherwise there would be no need to ask anything or question anything. And Krishna says, you know, in Gita that we should, one of the qualifications or one of the prerequisites of when we come to a spiritual teacher is that we should have proper inquiry. So we should inquire, but that inquiry should be in the proper way, not just for inquisitiveness or, you know, just for the sake of it. You know, Srila Guru Maharaj once said to one devotee who was asking him so many questions, he said, "We are not an inquiry booth." So, you know, the question has to be relevant and real. One of our godbrothers, sannyasi godbrothers at that time, he asked Srila Sridhar Maharaj, "Could you please explain to us the 10 subject matters of the Srimad Bhagavatam?" And Srila Guru Maharaj's reply to him was, "First, you should learn what is an appropriate question to ask your spiritual master. I do not consider that to be an appropriate question from you. And maybe it's an appropriate question from someone. I mean, certainly, you know, Parikshit Maharaj asked that of Shukadev. So it's not an inappropriate question for him, but it may be an inappropriate question for us at our particular stage. So before we ask questions of our spiritual guardians, we should consider deeply, you know, like, really, is that a necessary question, something that I need to have necessary, you know, like answered for me, so that I can progress in my spiritual life. I remember when I would visit Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and I'd always have like a kind of a notebook full of questions that I was going to ask him when I came. But when I would sit down in front of him and I told him this, I said, "Maharaj, I had so many questions, and now I'm here in front of you. I just feel like an idiot, and I can't ask you any of them, you know." And Guru Maharaj just put his hands to his forehead and he said, "Yes, of course, Prabhu." Of course you feel like an idiot. So yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Anyway, thanks, Pandita, for that reflection. It's very helpful to all of us, I'm sure. So, right, 1 minute, 53 seconds, 52, 53 seconds. Yes, just right. Perfect.
We've been here for ages, happily being nourished by your Harikatha. And now we're with Lavanyamoy, David Asi, with Devananda Prabhu and Munindra Mohan Prabhu. And the others are coming in other cars. We invaded one of our Indian well-wishers' homes, and they also had quite a lot of relatives there. And we were told we were going for a short visit, just half an hour. Well, that was 2.5 hours ago. And so now we've come to be with you. And we can say that we saw enthusiasm in them. And we saw enthusiasm in our devotees talking to their different family members. And so when we share, we also gain automatically enthusiasm. And, you know, one of our attending devotees said when we were going there, oh, I'm just so tired. I just want to rest. But as soon as the Harikatha started, and then not only not tired and wanting to rest, but enthusiastically telling them some stories of, you know, Krishna Katha, etc., sharing. And actually, this family, you know them, Devashishu, the man, Shonu, he won't mind we mention his name, he was a gentleman. And he did the foundation work, something to do with the base part of the Tulsi temple.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
And he has this, you know, general understanding. He appreciates very much the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, etc. And so we're trying to introduce to him, you know, the next step, if you like, or the Kali Yuga step, the step for this age, which is that understanding about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us the very essential parts of Ramachandra's teachings and the essential parts of the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, etc., the essential parts of Srimad Bhagavatam, and spotlighted what it is for us to do today. So we had a receptive audience who were hungry. You know, hungry, they were good people and they've done work. I mean, work means voluntary work, doing what we're meant to do. We're meant to try to do something for no reward. We're doing something because it is good to do it. And so by some good luck, do we keep luck in the dictionary? Not sure. But anyway, he was able to use that tendency for doing, you know, helping others by helping for that, establishing the Tulsi house here in the West London temple. So he and his family, who I've met here at different times over the years, they were our host. And when we are engaged in Harikatha, not just myself, but the others who were then engaged, because there were quite a lot of family members there, then we saw that automatically we get life. Any thought before that we may be feeling sleepy and just want to lie down, it kind of goes away when there's somebody who actually is interested to hear. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message is enlivening for everyone. And if we are a little bit enthusiastic, if we recognize what we've come to, the masters we've come to, the teachings, the scriptures, everything that we've come to, then when we can share that with others, that will help keep our own enthusiasm going. And then, yes, we have to practice what we preach, isn't it? Some expression I heard, a new expression, not sure. Anyway, I keep hearing new British expressions, which I haven't heard before. One of them yesterday, Devashishu, I think, was here and we also heard it. We had the day before yesterday, perhaps, was having so much of a feast, honoring Prasadam so much that we pop a button. I nearly popped a button. Now, how about that for a British expression for having a very satisfying feast? And I'll let you all think, I'll let you all meditate on that. All right. Anyway, here we are, we're in London and happily, engaged in trying to share with others, but we must believe it ourselves, and the believing ourselves part will come when we properly nourish ourselves by doing what we're meant to do, following nicely at least the structure of what Guru Maharaj and Gurudev have given us for our devotional life. And then, of course, association of the devotees. This is going to be the very helpful thing to keep us more with our conviction, but also to keep us in our enthusiasm. And to persevere, yes, it's a long journey. And actually, I want to rehear what Devashish Prabhu read. It means it's being recorded. I want to hear again. And I know it's from our Upadeshamritam, correct?
Yes.
Devashish Prabhu, it was the Srila Guru Maharaj's commentary.
Yes.
From Upadeshamritam. And the favorable items for our devotional service we are to engage in. And it was just so sweet. I was listening in the car coming here, and I just felt, yes, this is it. This is everything. This is what is our search. It's a search for truth, and we only want the truth and nothing else. And what are we searching for? That truth, the highest truth, which is reality, the beautiful. Krishna himself. So this Krishna consciousness, it is amazing. And we are the lucky ones who are here, who somehow recognize that it is amazing. And we want to keep our fire burning. And as Devashish Prabhu reminded us recently, perhaps in the London Zoom last week, Guru Maharaj saying that we should not keep a feeble fire, not just a feeble fire, a little fire of devotional service. We want to keep that properly fueled and burning strongly, because it is the healthy life, and it is the life that we not only aspire for, it's a life that we need, and that is natural. It's not like practicing something to become, to become qualified, I don't know, become qualified that, oh, now I've got this power to do something. But it is already in us that we should be being devoted to the Lord and his devotees, his agents. So anyhow, yes, Upadeshamritam of Rupa Goswami is giving us, as Devashish Prabhu said, from bottom to top or top to bottom, giving us the whole direction for our life. And it is good for us to become acquainted with it, to read and reread. And the commentaries that are there of Srila Guru Maharaj in that big, thick book, the Upadeshamritam, then they are very valuable. In Vilagovinda Ashram in Italy, we recently went through all those, we recently went through all of those as the consistent reading in the morning, along with Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then we were reading for a while until we finished the book, that Upadeshamritam and what is recorded there. And definitely that is another great treasure for our encouragement to keep us going on. We need to persevere. We're going to be confident in the Lord's protection. We're going to surrender to him. We're going to persevere. And we do know that we are doing the right thing and going in the right direction. And we do have a devotee here who's going perhaps in the wrong direction. He's taking a flight out from the London temple because his visa's up. So no, he's going in the right direction by the will of the Lord. And I have to say, just please come in front of the camera, because here's Jagannath Vala Prabhu. And I've met him again and again on visiting the London temple. He's very sweet, he's very sincere. He's a very good Mridanga player, good singer, good pujari, sweet servitor. And anyway, he's just coming to give obeisances because he's on his way just now to the airport. and flying tonight to Colombia. So anyway, this is the London Zoom. Please give Jagannath Balva Prabhu some good
Come
wishes.
again, Prabhu. We are very happy to have your association while you've been here.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. Mandava to all of you.
Louder, louder. Speak loudly. You got 45 people
Oh,
to speak to.
no, I just want to say Dandava to everyone. Thank you for all your blessings. Yeah, I'm feeling very grateful for that. Dandava Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right. So I won't embarrass you anymore, but I will just come and see you off in our traditional way. And so instead, I'll embarrass Munindra Mohan Prabhu and say, he's very fit to add a few words. And so I'm going to pass the camera to Munindra Mohan Prabhu, just as I see Jagannath Bala Prabhu off. So please excuse me a moment. I am with you. I am not leaving you. I'm just here. Hare Krishna. Munindra, speak loud. Speak loud. Quickly.
Dandavat to all the devotees. Dandavat, Maharaj cornered me. Oh dear. And the subject is very beautiful as usual. One of the good quality of our dear Devash Prabhu, always find good titles. It's very important titles, subject for the, Ishtagosti between devotee. And I was thinking about this while we are having like a Namahata together in a family, Indian family. It was very nice. And enthusiasm, conviction, and perseverance. And those ingredients are necessary for every task, isn't it? So the spiritual life, the spiritual attempt to have some connection, service connection with God is one of them. It is the most difficult task for our situation, to being conditioned soul covered by illusion. So enthusiasm is necessary, no doubt. And in the beginning, it's quite easy to have some enthusiasm because you are a beginner, you don't know anything. So you think already to be devotee. I mean, it happened to me. I was very enthusiastic to be perfect devotee just 1 week after initiation. But
And he was successful.
later, when one test after another test comes, it's little difficult to keep enthusiasm. But actually, tests are good. And Seva Sukha Dukkha Parama Sampada. Everything happening in our service life is auspicious and purifying. So keep enthusiasm is very important to make our life one with the spiritual path that Gurudev taught us, and accept the challenge. Like Gurudev teach with his example, say yes. When the opportunity of seva comes, opportunity of sadhu sangha, never even think to say no. Always say yes, yes. I jump in. I buy it. I want it. And then, like to burn the ship in the port, the army, when you want a soldier be really motivated in fighting, they invade one country with the ships, they go in the bank of a new country to conquer. But instead of keep the ships in the harbor, they burn the ships. So they have to conquer, they have to win the battle, because they cannot go back to their original country. So sometimes we have to put us in trouble and accept the challenge, and it gives some dynamic life to us and some enthusiasm, some challenge, and thinking that we are doing that to make our Gurudev happy. is very enthusiasm bringing. How you say?
Yes, perfect.
Enthusiasm
Perfect expression.
bringing. Yes. So try to live one life. No, so in the beginning, I myself found that to live like two different lives. Maybe I was working a little bit, save some money for my little enjoyment, then going out, distribute some book and some other money that's for service, and the other money are for my enjoyment. So this is kind of bipolar spiritualism. We have to like melt all the effort in one life, one energy, one aim, and try to go with full energy and conviction, no doubt. And perseverance is necessary, because once we burn the ship, no other way, we have to go. Like Madhuananda said, I cannot go anywhere else. I have no house. I must stay in the ashram and serve. I have not another life. But he put himself in this situation consciously. So it's kind of safe to have no other choice. But, you know, freedom is always the base of love. So we choose this situation for us, not to have another choice, out of love and out of affection for Gurudev. So this is our enthusiasm fuel.
Jai. And we do have Lavanya Moy Devidasi here. Well,
I told you, I'm listening to a few more lifetimes, yugas, and then maybe I can present something. First of all, I have to intake into my heart purity from the devotees, and then one day I might be able to, you know, put something nice out.
Hare Krishna. So am I meant to answer the prayers of, is my duty to answer the prayers of devotees? Because Lavanya Moy is praying to me, don't do this to me. Anyway, she has expressed with her heart, and I can say that when we see other devotees persevering and going on enthusiastically, then we also get infected, we get infused by that also. And okay, I have a question. As far as I heard, and I didn't hear afterwards, I heard that on the schedule at the Govinda Mela, one program was going to be Lavanya Moy and Bimala and Divya Shakti giving a class on distributing mercy.
Collection,
yeah. Collection, but collection means distributing mercy. Is there something you can share from that? Because that, they are, why those three were chosen and asked to give the class? Because they are enthusiasts to distribute mercy by collection. And then from hundreds and hundreds of people, some small amount of their energy is going for service. And Gurudev like this, Guru Maharaj like this, Srila Prabhupada like this, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur like this. It is all well known. So maybe Lavanya can share something in that theme, because there she's enthusiastic about all seva, but that is one of her specialities. Something you'd like to share?
Well, from that was just very inspiring, because I just copy what they do. I mean, they do it with some proper intent. So, some proper intent, but it was just inspiring. It was the first time I met Bimala, and she stood in the airport with like a tannoy saying, the person in that booth is not connected to the airport. As she was trying to collect continuously, they were like speaking, basically, you know, not promoting what she was doing. And she did that for so many years. And anyway, we just know that Gurudev said, if anyone gives even a small bit of their energy, then so much benefit they get. And that's all that matters to me. And I can't preach, so if I can do that, that's, you know, I'm very happy to distribute something. Otherwise, with like big greedy mercy pigs, huh? Just hold it to ourselves. We have to give it out. We have to distribute something. So, really, that's, yeah. Anyway, that's all from the devotees' blessings. Gurudev's mercy that I'm able to do anything with that, you know.
Okay,
Burn out.
that's it. Thank you very much. Preaching by example, showing the example. And that was Gurudev. That was Gurudev and that was Guru Maharaj. It's not that every day Srila Guru Maharaj is talking, like Siddhanta and all these things in the sense of giving an official class every morning, 365 days a year, etc. Rather, he was doing his seva, doing his seva to Guru Maharaj, for running the temple, for solving all the problems, for reaching out and answering the questions of the devotees in the correspondence and so many things, rather than being like official classes, etc. And Gurudev, he wasn't just enthusiastic. It means it was his whole life was service to Guru Maharaj. And his whole life, as everybody knows, to the last moment, he's just energetic from inside. And with time, the body can give some drawbacks along the way. But Gurudev, always energetic from inside. And you see from his chair, then so many things happened around the world. And that was also his mystic power, his mystic capacity. And Guru Maharaj gave him much certificate for that too. So Gurudev, really was our super example of, everything favorable for devotional service embodied in one person. No, we have the door closed because of the aeroplanes. We are by Heathrow Airport. It's the London Zoom. Okay, there we are. Any question from anybody or any contribution? And Soumya Shyam Prabhu and our Irish devotees, good to know that you're home safe and sound. And devotees, yes, Prabhu, Dandavat. And we're going through still, it's not yet finished, going through the stage of when the festival continues. We can't say come to an end, but continues, because every day is a festival in the mat. But we just had the big festivals on Saturday and then Sunday yesterday in Green Street. And then, of course, 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 4 by 4, devotees returning to their places of seva. So we were very happy to have here 5 devotees from Ireland. And they were, all of them, exemplary in seva. And now safely returned back to their seva stand, a place of service. And 1 by 1, returning. Hare Krishna. Yes, and here's Ananda Swarupini Devi Rasi coming in. Actually, we had 3 cars go to that house program. So we were the first car to come back. So we'd be with you within however many minutes it was I said I'd be. And then another 2 cars have come back. And in the meantime, just now, Saraswati's taken that devotee Jagannath Vallabha to the airport. So we're coming in and coming out. Krishna Kanta Devi Rasi just coming in. So Sachi Devi coming in. Anjali. Oh, Anjali just left too. Yeah. Any question? Did I see a hand from Pandita? Here in our auction, Pandita's put up a hand.
Maharaj, I had a question on this theme. Just maybe any advice on how we can help a friend if their enthusiasm, perseverance, or conviction isn't as strong as they'd like it to be? What is nice to do, and if you can, in order to help someone?
Well, I can suggest you find that passage that Devashish Prabhu read while we were coming here in the car, and read that to them from Guru Maharaj. Because when I heard that, I don't know why it's jumped out at me, but certainly while I heard from Devashish Prabhu reading it, I felt, this is what is our Krishna consciousness. It's so wonderful. This is what we're doing. So when there is something that inspires you, especially the words of our masters, I mean, their words, their expressions really do have some extra value. We may say the same words coming from ourselves, but when we can relay their words and their mood, then that will be good for them. And this whole theme, there are some themes which are continuously coming up. I mean, continuously throughout all of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev's books, talks, everything. One of them, well, okay, where do we start and where do we end? But this adjusting to the environment theme, where we really do have to see that anything difficult in the environment, it's from my side that I am the cause of any difficulties. We can't blame anybody else. And it's very a little bit painful to hear when some devotees say, oh, I'm not enthusiastic because of that person or that person or that person. But actually, if others are making offense, that's up to Krishna how that is arranged for that person. But we don't read that I lose my devotional life through somebody else's offense. So we must be very careful ourselves not to make offense and not to be the judge of others. That we can't change others, so they're doing whatever they may be doing or saying or anything else. But I must keep my regard for the Vaishnavas, and the Vaishnavas means headed by the purest Vaishnavas, Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. They've presented the purest things. And if we can keep our connection there, then that perspective for all of the devotees, we'll have a perspective and see, okay, many things are playing within the material world. But I should not lose my enthusiasm by somebody else's action. Rather, if I find that, oh, I notice that I am, I should say, well, here is the lesson. There must be a lesson for me. That I'm thinking that because of them, I'm losing my enthusiasm. But we must try to adjust always that, no, I have to cross over that. And I'll stay sincere for the cause that I've come to Krishna consciousness for, that we've recognized in the gift of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. So gently understanding their heart, trying to understand their heart, why perhaps their enthusiasm is a little down now. And this, that's one scenario, that's one possibility. Then we'll try to address that by adjusting favorably to the environment. Humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, not wanting honor for ourselves.
Anita said she had a very good key line. We have a key line that keeps us a bit in order enough. And her one was, it's not about me.
And who said that?
Pandita.
Oh, Pandita.
When
yes.
Things get
little crazy.
Yeah, when I'm like, it's not about.
Okay, I don't know if you could hear that because Lavanya sometimes speaks quietly, like this evening. She was saying, in case you didn't hear it, that Pandita Devidasi here with us, she has a line that she said, it's not about me. So when our mind goes somewhere, then we have to say, it's not about me. It's about Krishna. Correct?
Yes.
It's about Krishna.
Pandita.
Oh, we can ask Pandita. Who is it about, Pandita?
It's sort of just like helpful when you get affected by a certain situation, and there's you're affected by it, to think, it's just not about me. Like, whatever my experience of the situation is, it's helpful just to put myself to the side and, keep going and observe it for what it is.
Right. But every case is a bit different, we have to say.
Yeah.
So we do have to try to understand what is the cause of their discouragement, if there is a particular cause, and if it's just, oh, I'm just generally not very encouraged, then we want to try to especially share those good things. And by the way, this morning in our reading, Pandita, you were here. Remember we said, so what we just read, how can we forget this ever? What to speak of forgetting it before breakfast or lunch? Do you remember that?
Yes, that's just the like how the Krishna conception is the full embodiment of all rasas: love, beauty, charm, ecstasy, affection, joy. All these things are fully expressed in the Krishna conception, and of all 5 rasas. Obviously, the Madhurya conception of Krishna, that is the topmost, because it is Godhead basically being able to express and receive love in all variety of ways, everything from a child to a mother, to all kinds of expressions. And so it is the most complete, most beautiful, most affectionate, most comprehensive ideal of love and joy.
And before that? Oh, what happened? I've lost. I was going to read it because we're also trying to remember. But we read something very wonderful this morning.
Srila Gurudev said we shouldn't.
Louder.
I remember Gurudev, devotee ceremony. Srila Gurudev said we shouldn't be so sensitive for our service. Was the benefit of the service will outweigh some difficulties that we have, little difficulties, not to lose the perspective, isn't it? Be so sensitive.
A little tough.
Yeah, a little tough, huh?
Yeah.
Like Lavanya style.
Okay, well, I'll have to do some homework. But when we read it this morning, and I'm reading now, and I was thinking, so which part was jumped out at us so much this morning?
You worship Krishna, you get everything. So something like that.
Okay, Nanda Swarupini. Where's Nanda Swarupini? Oh, she's here. Here's Nanda Swarupini. This is a London Zoom, and she's here.
You worship Krishna, you get everything.
Yeah.
Something said that at the beginning. Real true. Yes.
Okay, anyhow, we read good things this morning that we'll never forget. That's the wonderful thing. So when you also read good things that you'll never forget, share them with others, and maybe a little down in their enthusiasm. Okay, Devashish.
Yes, Raj, time has come. Time has gone away from us.
It has. And yesterday evening, how long it took to drive from East London to West London. 3 hours drive across London.
Baba.
So
we also had a bit of a nightmare journey home too. There was I don't know what it was, but some accident or something near the Blackwall Tunnel. So we had to turn around and go all the way to the Rotherhithe Bridge, to the bridge at Dartford. Not Rotherhithe, Dartford Bridge across there. So that took us much longer than normal as well.
Anyway, amazing. Another 3 hour journey across London. Now, London, you can understand if you're not living in London, the favorable environment where you are for travel. All right, dear devotees, all good things. We got lots of devotees now with us. So bit by bit, the cars have come back from our evening program. And this is only some of them because some are outside still. Is Krishna Kanta David Asi? Krishna Kanta. Oh, Tonga Rasa Devi Sachi David Asi. I don't know if you can see her.
Yes.
And others are also over on the other side who wish to remain anonymous. So we're all good. We're all good. All right. So kindly excuse. And Devashish reminded me of another English expression just when we began, and he said, he better say properly, well, he can repeat it properly. The best laid plans of mice and men
are off to go astray.
Are off to go astray. So kindly excuse at the beginning, we were not able to be able to dialogue with you, but I was happy to hear the whole program. And the first few minutes, it was because we were with the devotees and we were in London. So you've had a little bit of live home programs as part of the many activities we're doing here. All right, and look at Ganga Leela by the ocean in California while we're in London. Just see. All right, it doesn't matter where we are physically. Let us all do our best to keep up our enthusiasm, our conviction, our perseverance or perseverance, whichever way you like to say it. And let us come home soon to the lotus feet of our masters forever firmly.
Yeah.
So over to you, Devashish Prabhu.
Jai. Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Rupanu Guru Bhagya ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswata Acharya Brinda ki Jai. Jai Vishwavranyam Vishnupad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai. All the assembled devotees ki Jai, all the worldwide devotees ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bo, and Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai Shripad Devashish Prabhu ki Jai, all the assembled devotees ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. And to each of you individually, so wonderful to see each and every one of you here. We're going through seeing all of you. Very wonderful. And with Purushottam Prabhu, the Priyananda Devidasi too, and a gathering of Vaishnavas in St. Petersburg. Jai. All right, dear devotees, from all the way from Australia, all the way over to California and South America and everywhere in between. Our appreciation, our obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavane Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Hari Hari. Amra Ashchi.
Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath,